Okay, the stream is starting a little bit late because I actually had to get a new XLR cable because my other one just wasn't functioning properly for some reason. But in theory, everything should be okay. Hopefully the sound quality isn't worse or anything. Hello Deuterium, congratulations on beating Sekiro. Hello Sigward. Hello NBLissimo. Hello Aora. Hello Krista. Welcome. Hello Sandy. Have fun chopping broccoli. I personally like broccoli. Let me turn my HUD on. Oh, things look normal. I forgot I was taking screenshots last night. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure what the game plan is for like the beginning of this. Also, I think I'm actually a little bit louder. Oh, I have my microphone turned up louder than normal. Okay, hopefully that's fine. I've used Moonlight Greatsword once before in this game, but it was more like a spell sword build and I didn't really rely on it. So I don't know how like good it actually is because most of my damage was coming from like Crystal Soul Arrow or whatever. As for the sword itself, I know the tail cut is probably the worst in the game, or most difficult. I don't know, that's probably an overstatement. It's an annoying tail cut to get, but from memory, it's not that bad if you know what you're doing. Just gonna have to get a decent damage source, which, I don't know, if I don't get a Black Knight weapon, I'll probably just upgrade a Pyromancy Flame or something. Yeah, run starts at 1 hour. I don't know, it shouldn't take that long, right? Because I'm just getting a decent weapon and then going straight to the Duke's Archives, which shouldn't be too bad. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, like, it's not hard, but it is the hardest tail cut. I don't even know if I would use hard. Like, I put annoying in the thumbnail instead of hard for a reason, right? I don't think it's particularly difficult. It's just kind of frustrating to do sometimes. Oops. But yeah, hopefully can get it first try, especially if I get a decent weapon beforehand. I am absolutely not doing Gold Fog Gate Skip. Either variation of it. That takes a lot of setup that I'm just not... I don't think is worth getting. RTSR, Crystal Halberd in a dream. Nice. Good job. I guess Crystal Halberd is a good backup option. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing Sen Skip. Soul Spear. Not Crystal Soul Spear? Okay, I think the requirements are 16, 14, 28 or something. They're like really high. I don't remember the exact dexterity requirement though. Just regular Soul Spear. I'm surprised it cut, then, to be honest. Actually, I'm gonna see if I can get the Black Knight Sword. That would be definitely the easiest weapon to do this with. And then, yeah, I mean, I guess Pyromancy Flame plus 15 is probably a good fallback option. If not, plus 20. Or Ascended plus 5. Would that be 21? Thank you for the luck wish. 16, 10, 28. Okay. Try bug. I forgot bug was like even an option in the list. I guess it makes sense though. A form of spirituality? How do you mean? Well, I don't know. I guess I see what you mean. I would describe it more as philosophy than spirituality, but it is also casual fun in a lot of ways, right? So both, to a point. I think nowadays, it's a lot more just casual fun. Oops. But it definitely started off with more like Dark Souls saved me style feelings toward it, right? I shouldn't take too many hits. Oh, I guess I can go down through Havel's tower, right? You can open it from the side with the Master Key. Pretty sure. Yeah, I need to do Dark Souls 2 and 3 achievements. How did you how'd you get over there? I need Master of Rings in Dark Souls 3, Master of Gestures or whatever it's called. And I think Master of Miracles? I don't remember. Yeah, Dark Souls is absolutely my comfort game for sure, but yeah, I think I've done most of the achievements that require covenants, but I'm not sure. After spending so long modding this game, it's so weird to not see like item drops in places that I placed items in my mod. That's so strange. I'm gonna grab the Twinkling Titanite from up here, since this one takes less time to kill than the one in the basement. In case I get the Black Knight Halberd or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I think when I did no, I think I did do Master of Miracles, because you get a miracle from the Souvenir of Reprisal Covenant, right? Because I ended up using a cheating tool to make my drop chances 100%, so I didn't have to farm for as long. I've gotten all the achievements in quite a few games. I've done, I mean, obviously Dark Souls and Elden Ring, because those two are extremely easy. Well, maybe not Dark Souls as extremely easy, but for me, it's relatively extremely easy, I guess. But yeah, Elden Ring was an extremely easy all achievements to do. But I've also done quite a few others. I think I'm going to do Dark Souls 2 first, but I don't know. I need to play Dark Souls 2 more in general anyway. Where did I put the Firekeeper Soul? You're going to have to play the mod and find out. That would be a spoiler. Excuse me. Hello? No, come on. Don't. Wait. Ugh, I didn't roll. I didn't have stamina. I had stamina. Why didn't I roll? Oh, whatever. I can just go through the basin. Anyway, the Firekeeper Soul is in a place where there should have been an item in the vanilla game. All special weapons took forever. I mean, that was the one that took the longest, but you just go to New Game Plus 3 and you're basically guaranteed to get everything just passively, right? If you're actually, like, killing enemies and whatever. I don't know. There were very, very few weapons I had to grind for. I think my last couple weapons were, like, the Stone Greatsword. I don't know. There weren't that many weapons that I had to like specifically grind for. Most of them came pretty quick. Like I didn't even have to grind for the Chandler's Trident. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to the Master of Rings achievement in Dark Souls 3, to be honest. After 1,000 hours in Dark Souls, I wouldn't say it loses any of its impact, but it definitely changes, because it goes from a place to express overcoming and like mastery and whatever, to a place to, I don't know, just kind of relax and come to grips with how much I've grown as a person, if that makes sense. Because like every time I do a challenge run, or even just like a casual playthrough with a weapon I've never used, right, like this run, I think back on all the times where I've died in really stupid ways, or died to a boss that I consider easy now, or the ways that I used to attempt to overcome difficulty in this game. And it's just like I have so much more knowledge and so much more ability in this game. So the way that I view it from a philosophical and I don't know, personal growth standpoint has definitely changed quite a bit. I think that's an interesting topic to cover. Mart bonk. I don't know. I don't think I'd consider it a bonk. It's a great sword, right? But it's also pure magic, so I imagine it doesn't actually have a physical form to hit enemies with. Okay, let's see if I can first try the... not home. No, I wouldn't go that far. It's... I don't think there is a one-word way to put it, to be honest. It's retrospective. A place to be retrospective, but also a place to look forward. Like, that's why I do so many different things in this game, so that I can, you know, come up with new things, new ways to grow, right? I think it's a good analog for that, at least. Okay. This is the Black Knight that I'm worst at parrying by far, so I've gotten pretty lucky. Wow. Oops. Point. Case in point. The Obsidian Greatsword is extremely easy to get. If you... So every now and then, Calamite will fly up and dive at you. And if you run under his tail after the dive... damn it. If you run under his tail after the dive, he'll slam his tail down, and you can just cut the tail off there. It's extremely easy. That's probably one of the easiest tail cuts in the game. Like, on par with... Probably easier than, like, escaping. A little bit harder than gargoyles, I suppose. Yeah, that's a good point. The Valley of Drakes does feel very vast despite its relatively small size. I like the Dark Souls 1 DLC. I think it has a higher concentration of, like, top bosses in the game compared to, like, base game. But I do like most of the bosses in this game. Hey, Black Knight Halberd! Oh, but that has a really high dex requirement, doesn't it? Isn't it like 18 dex or something? And the sword doesn't scale off of strength at all. That's fine. Hello, Eth. Welcome. I don't think I really care about Abel's... Maybe I do, actually. The Black Knight Halberd is pretty hefty. A secret Gale tail cut. Yeah, I don't know. My first time playing Dark Souls was... I don't know. I hesitate to say it was a bad time in my life, but definitely could have been better. So, saying Dark Souls saved me would not be an overstatement. You get Gale's fursuit? That's awesome. Or do you just get the tail off the suit? You fight Gale's fursuit like you do the Dragon Slayer armor? Yeah, Sanctuary Guardian is my favorite boss in the game. Artorias is good. My least favorite of the DLC fights, but it's still pretty good. Calamite is probably second or third in this game. And then Manus is also probably, I don't know, higher than Artorias. Artorias I'd probably put around the middle of the rankings in this game. Manus I'd put probably around, I don't know, top third. Oh. The stream is not lagging on my end. I don't think. I'm not getting any frame drops or internet issues, so I don't think that's on my end. I edited the Titanite catch pull stream yesterday. Um, and oops, hopefully, well, I don't know. There were some funny bits, I think, in that. Some good editing tricks. I'm excited to see the reception to that video, especially because so many people voted for it. Hopefully, it'll actually do well. But I'm more just excited to see people's reactions to certain things about that video. The Quelaag fight? I think she's pretty good. I think she's like... I don't know where I would rank her off the top of my head, to be honest. I think she's a really good fight, though. Oh, right. I forgot to replace their texture file, so the rings are a bit darker than they normally would be. Also, the Covenant of Artorias and the Orange Charred Ring are going to be passives, because I also didn't change that file back to vanilla, but... I'm still going to do all the bosses that I normally fight. Still going to do Gargoyles, Quelaag. I'm going to do... well, so what I'm planning on doing is going straight to the... brain? Hold on, it's in there somewhere. I want to go straight to Seath, and then... or straight to Anne Orlando, kill Ornstein and Smo, then go straight to Seath, and get the weapon. And then do the other other 3 lords and DLC and everything. And I'm also going to do Gargoyles and Quelaag and Beastless and all them, obviously. Fire's Age, Pinwheel. Straight up reinforce in it. Well, she's good because the positioning is so important. You have to, like, find the positioning, right? It's not like you just know that positioning when you first play the game. And if you did know that, then you did yourself a disservice by spoiling it for yourself, right? British. What's the easiest Dragon Soul to get? Or Dragon's Scale. I don't think I quite need that many, actually. Okay. I'm gonna dupe the Twinkling Titanite, and I'm gonna dupe Dragon Scales. I get one. I can't, off the top of my head, think what the easiest would be, to be honest. Yeah, the Blighton one, I guess, but I want to get one as soon as I get to Seath. Well, I'll have the Lord Vessel at that point, so it won't be as much of an issue. Okay. Burped in your sauerkraut? That sounds unfortunate. I am sorry. Okay, reinforce Black Knight Halberd. For some reason, I was thinking Moonlight Greatsword would be Twinkling, and I have no idea why. That doesn't make sense. How much strength do I need for that? 23, 24, or something like that? Sure. Oh, not... I thought you said you burped in it, not burped it. That is significantly less terrible. 22? No. I don't know how much I need. Oh no, I can two-hand it. Okay. Well, whatever. I don't need armor. Alright. Sense Fortress time. Oh wait, I might as well get the intelligence while I'm at it. It's 28, I believe, which is really high. That's insane. But I guess it is a really late game weapon ordinarily, so. Hopefully this weapon should make the tail cut pretty easy. 1 or 2 hits. In the sour straight up burp in it. Yeah, okay. Come on. Ooh, owie. Kill me? Wilhelm is your favorite? He just walks off the cliff. I don't think I've ever tried to get him to do that, actually. Normally I just fight him. It felt like one of those fights where they put invisible walls everywhere for the NPC specifically, so they didn't end up running off the cliff. Come on. Oh. Is that pronounced Marigold Arica? Welcome. Hope you enjoy your time at the stream. Yeah, it can be difficult to control, but you just gotta... I mean, the easiest way to do it is to just hold up as much as possible. Excuse me. Arica like Marika. Or Marika? Erica? First or second? Or a third one that I don't know. Pardon me. The second. Erica, okay. Yeah. Everything's fine. Pardon me. Girl boss in the chat. I'm okay with the Pasako one. I think that's my favorite so far. Go. What the? No. This is unfortunate. That was the worst possible outcome. Okay, whatever. I guess the worst possible outcome would have been dying. But that is very unfortunate that I fell all the way down. Fun fact, I've never died to that trap, and I think that's the only trap in Sense Fortress that I can say that for. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the only trap in Sense Fortress that I haven't died to. Maybe this one, actually. I forgot about this one. Not much of a trap, though. Wait. Losing your armor? Why are you... Oh, right. Never mind. Forgot your Ziggurat. You can sometimes in Elden Ring. It depends on how far the fall is. You can also do it in Dark Souls 2. You know what? I'm actually not gonna let hubris get the best of me here. I'm gonna die to the Iron Golem if I don't rest. I can feel it. What do you mean it isn't a smooth? It's exactly the same. Elden Ring has the same fall height, or yeah, instant death fall height as Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3. And I think Bloodborne and Demon Souls as well. I'm not sure about Demon Souls. Demon Souls fall damage is weird. Actually, Dark Souls 2 doesn't have an instant death fall, does it? Because it does incremental damage. Never mind, disregard that part. Alright, I don't think you... Pokemon Y? I don't remember the Generation 6 starters. It's Fennekin? Oops. Oh, whatever. Immense skill issue on my part. I wasn't even looking at chat that time. I'm gonna go ahead and disclose here that I am on my period. It is that time of the month. So if I play horribly, I blame it entirely on that. It is not my fault for playing bad. Yeah, Dark Souls 2 and Elden Ring have the instant roll, depending on the fall height. I'm not sure the exact distances, but... I'm gonna actually look at the screen and pay attention this time, instead of vaguely looking at the screen and acting like I'm paying. I don't think I like Chespin. I don't know, Gen 6 starters aren't my favorite generally, to be honest. I don't like Fennekin. Is Fennekin Gen 6 even? I don't remember. Your favorite Dark Souls creator? There are some pretty good ones out there. But I do really appreciate that, thank you. Chespin and Squirtle. Oh yeah, you do get a Gen 1 starter after you pick your main starter, right? Bulbasaur is my favorite Gen 1 starter. Because, obviously, Bulbasaur is the best one. No, Dark Souls 3 does percentage, yeah, it does percentage based on the fall, just like Dark Souls 1, but it goes off of embered health. So a 20-meter fall is always lethal. 19.9 or meter unit fall, sorry, I forgot, it's not meters. A 20 unit fall in Dark Souls 1 and 3 will always be lethal no matter what. If you're at 19.9 units, and you have 0 equip load, in Dark Souls 1, I believe, and 3, it will do 70% of your overall health, and then will incrementally increase that final 30% based on how high your equip load is, to the point where I think it's, I don't remember the exact numbers, but it'll do like 100% or 99.9% of your health. 19.9 units will never kill you unless you are unembered and you have equip load. So, I don't know, it's weird. They factor being embered into it, but I guess it makes sense with how health calculations are done in that game. But I wish there were different falling damage calculations for when you're unembered. I don't know, I like Illusory Wall a lot more than my content. FromSoft Serve is pretty good. Rev has some pretty cool content. Spelunker and Aurora have some fun content. Minnow. There's pretty good ones out there. I think my favorite, I don't know. I've been seeing TikToks about people's favorite like obscure Pokemon or whatever. And like, I don't think any of my favorites are particularly obscure. Like Primarina is my favorite Pokemon. Used to be Gardevoir. Gardevoir is still definitely in top 6. Alolan Vulpix, obviously. If you know me at all, that's obviously. Cinderace is up there. Bulbasaur is up there. I don't think any of my favorites are particularly obscure, unfortunately. The clothes texture looks vile. It does look kind of like a plasticky. It doesn't seem super great. The most petable one? I don't know. Okay, I'll take that. Texture of yogurt. That's awful. I hate that image has been brought into my mind. Synthetic fabric drip that repulses all the hose. Oh my god. I forgot that was an attack. Jesus. My life flashed before my eyes. What do you mean you've never heard of these Pokemon? Primarina is a starter. Bulbasaur is also a starter. Oh, you said most. Okay, never mind. I'm positive you've heard of Gardevoir at least. 3 of them are starters. Dang it, I'm boring. I don't do invasions otherwise, or enjoy PvP, watching it or playing it at all. Otherwise, I'd probably like a lot more Soul Stupers. I don't think I've ever heard of Saint Riot. But yeah, Illusory Wall is probably my favorite. Like, he probably has just my favorite content on YouTube. So it's super, super cool to be able to, like, do stuff with him. Like, especially with hold on, it's in there somewhere. The Estus recovery chance video. It was super cool to have him voice a line in it. Don't randomly subject you to the T-slur. Yeah. Oops. That's... yeah, okay. I think if he follows that up, there's no way to avoid it. A bit biased. The thing is, Minnow makes good content, but it's not the content that I would watch most of the time because I don't like speedrunning content. But Minnow does make it enjoyable a lot of the time, despite that. Cute invasion builds, that explains why I don't know them. Always thought Ornstein was a girl. You know what? Ornstein is the top in the relationship, but I like T-girl Ornstein. This is my new headcanon. Forest Femme Ornstein. Oh. Okay. Maybe be a bit more careful. High damage doesn't mean easy win. Oh, okay. Case in point. Come on. You would think I'd be better at this fight, especially with this weapon. I used to do this exact fight, like this weapon, these stats and everything for fun. Oh. Just because I thought it was funny how easy it was, but I haven't used this weapon enough recently to make that the case anymore. Whoa, hey. I do not like... I like this weapon's moveset. I don't like it for this boss, I think is the thing. Oh. I am not doing well right now, Jesus. I'm using the infamously busted weapon. Just doing terribly. Oh. That wasn't very fair. Okay, everything's fine. That was scary. I'm just gonna be a little bit more cautious than I need to be. Makes you respect the character more. That's entirely understandable. Smo's committing a hate crime. Yeah, that checks out. Smo would do that. Fair lady and wait, that go trans femme. That's so true. Assuming, or yeah, I assume if there is a composer named Leo Ornstein, that's what Ornstein is based on, right? I assume that would be the inspiration anyway. Okay, so I need to go place this. Okay. Oh, I need to place the Lord Vessel. That means I need to ring the bells. On the bright side, that means enjoying a cheek girl's egg sacs. I was not expecting to read that in my chat. I should have. I should have been expecting that, but I wasn't. Anyway, on the bright side, that means... Oh, I didn't hit the elevator, did I? Oops. On the bright side, that means I can get the Dragon Scale from Blighttown and dupe it before getting the weapon. I would love, like, Black Knight Halberd. Well, no. That's... I feel like they would use the Dark Souls 3 Black Knight Glaive. I don't know. What's my favorite Dark Souls weapon, aside from... Or that is specific in its incarnation to Dark Souls 1? I don't really know. I've used so many weapons in this game. It's not like they all blend together, but they're all so, like... It's hard to decide which ones I do and don't like because of the different contexts that I've used them all in. Something famously Dark Souls 1, though, like the Baldur Side Sword, would be cool to see. The run is going interestingly. I forgot that I had to ring the bells to place the Lord Vessel, so I'm going to do that. Quelaag should be funny. I'm not gonna do Quelaag skip, not live. I don't have the... First of all, I'm not good enough at the skip for that. But also, I don't want to subject everyone watching to that. Maybe eventually I'll be able to do Quelaag skip well enough to do it live, but I cannot yet. Dark Souls 1 Flamberge moveset, yeah. I don't know, a lot of people like the Dark Souls 3 Flamberge moveset though, right? Is it in Elden Ring? I assume if it is, it has the Dark Souls 3 moveset, or at least an expanded version of the Dark Souls 3 moveset, right? Oh. But yeah, Dark Souls 1 Flamberge is very, very cool. One of my favorite looking weapons. Flamberge. Hello, Trashly, welcome. The Gale looking guy who talks about Radon. Like the Radon Festival guy? Champions, welcome. Okay. A gargoyle skip? Is that even feasible for me to do? Lamborghini. Yeah, I guess I have to pronounce it like that now. I don't even remember what the process to do that skip is, to be honest. There is a mod to get an estrogen flask, and honestly, I've been meaning to install it for streams, but I have simply forgotten every time. That's what you'd look like as a sword. Yeah, having an estrogen flask is pretty nice. Hey, I can definitely hit Quelaag with this weapon. The question is whether or not I'll actually be able to. Oop. Maybe not. I don't know the actual positioning I need to do that. Not like it matters. Like its motion. Bomb weapon. In my Discord, there is a art channel if you want to share your drawings. I would be very interested in seeing it, and that's the easiest way, or easiest place to post it for me to see. Thanks. You know, I've tried. I've really, really tried to like Mega Man, but I just cannot get past the fact that the level design is extremely trial and error. I just cannot do it. I need to. Yeah, the HRT being withheld from minors for parental permission is really stupid. Because parents definitely know their children and their children's minds and identities better than the children themselves, right? Because they're older or something. Definitely makes sense to me. Estrogen made me pretty. So yeah, parents always make the best decision when it comes to their children. 100% of the time. Makes you better at speedrunning Neon White. I don't know, I've been told that I was pretty before estrogen, but it made me feel pretty, which is the part that matters. I've been told it also makes me and continues to make me prettier, which is very strange. Bonk. I mean, what is there to explain? What do you mean fill a void? It just it does physical and emotional changes. Hormones. What are you talking about a void? It just makes you feel more like yourself. Or well, it makes us feel more like ourselves. There's no void to fill. Do I have bones? I don't know if I have a bone. Okay. Now I can actually place that. This is called emotional damage. Yeah, it increases your physical and emotional elemental damage. It does split damage, but it's actually extremely powerful anyway, despite that. Identity isn't vacuous. Identity is something that is set and very, very intensely felt. If you've never had a disconnect between or if you've never recognized a disconnect between your identity and your physical appearance, then that might not be something that you understand, which is fine. You're not like a worse off person for it, but identity is very much not vacuous, and it is not, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Vain. So want to look more like how you feel, more like what you consider yourself to be. Bone Trends 2025. Indeed. Do estrogen as a recreational. Funny. Yeah, the US is not a great place right now, but I don't know, that's partially why I do this kind of thing, right? Like the streams and stuff. Not to distract from it, but to help. Help emotions and maybe clear your thoughts about sales should be included in free healthcare. I agree 100%. Create the estrogen on your food. Unfortunately, I have to take mine sublingually, so I can't do that. Do I care about vitality? Not really. No. Yeah. I think the intelligence soft cap is 50 in this game. I don't know that I need quite that much. HRT is your MSG, huh? Also, only 45 minutes in when the Duke's Archives, so could have been worse. Oh, I forgot to do the scale. I guess I can do that after I get the weapon, though, so not a big deal. For a challenge... No. For a run that I did, a scripted run video, I got 60 Twinkling Titanite, and that was extremely tedious. I beat Seath and just farmed the clams forever. That was awful. I have to not get cursed. Yeah, okay. Lock Archives, that'd be so much better. Yeah, true. Being able to make your own choices about your own body would be really awesome, but unfortunately people don't understand that's how that works. But HRT especially, or I mean, any kind of affirming care should absolutely be provided 100% free, regardless of where that money is coming from. The fact that it is something that has to be paid for in the first place is absurd, and you know, obviously society is excessively broken that that's even a thing that needs to be considered something you need to pay for. Funny bet and challenge Elon to an Elden Ring duel. You know, I was gonna say that I'm not good enough at PvP to be confident that I would win that, but thinking about it for half a second more, never mind. Says a lot about society. Yeah, all healthcare should absolutely be free. No, weed doesn't make people more themselves. What are you talking about? I mean, weed should be provided for free in a lot of scenarios, not all, obviously, but like as a, because it's used as like pain treatment and stuff, right? So there are scenarios in which weed should be free, right? But no, it's not an affirming care. RT is healthcare, yeah. It's like saying that, I don't know, what's the word I was looking for? Or what's the drug I was thinking of? Like, depression medication should be, or it shouldn't be free. Like, if you say estrogen shouldn't be free, then you're saying the same thing, right? It is a drug that specifically helps with something that improves your mental health vastly. Bazagas. A grab attack might actually kill me, but it'll be worth it, so it's okay. Yeah, obviously, insulin is one that I think most people agree should be free. Among others. What? Why did they jump so far? HRT makes people happier. I'm alive! Is that 1 HP? It is exactly 1 HP. Anything? Oh my god, I didn't mean to get grabbed again. That's gonna kill me. Anything that makes somebody measurably happier in the long term without an alternative is like objectively an improvement, right? Um, all right, worth it. They deserve a little treat. Yeah, as a trans person who formerly did not have any gender affirming care, it is one of the worst things I've ever experienced. And as somebody who has PTSD, um, and like depression, or has went through depression and have ADHD, like not having gender affirming care is awful, genuinely terrible. Also, something something moneyless society, but you know, we're not that far. It hurts. It causes things like depression and trauma. So it's not like a pain. It is pain. It's not like something. It just is. You know, creative use of snakes, and there were no snakes. That's tragic. Oh wait, I forgot. I pulled that by instinct. Let me turn it off. Yeah, very much causes. Well, I don't know. It's. I don't think it is fair to say that it causes self harm itself. It's more like its effects can lead to self harm. But I don't know. That's more semantics at that point. So yeah. Oh my god! Hi. Yeah. Dysphoria and dysmorphia aren't. They're not entirely different. Like eating disorders are caused a lot of the time, not 100% of the time, but a significant portion of the time by people seeing their bodies as differently from what they really are, right? So somebody will see themselves as, more overweight than they really are or whatever, right? Um, and that will cause someone to have, bulimia or anorexia or whatever. Um, in the same way, dysphoria, it can, a lot of the time it is caused by traits that aren't attributed to your chosen gender or your gender identity. I don't think chosen is the right word to use there. Um, Caused by physical traits that don't, or even behavioral and emotional traits that don't conform to your gender identity, right? Um, but they can also be blown out of proportion in that way. Um, so like for me, for a long time, um, I thought that my voice wasn't feminine, and like so many people have told me otherwise. And for a long time, that bothered me a lot. Um, that I didn't see my voice as feminine personally, even though a lot of people do consider it feminine. I'm happy to educate personally. That's part of why I'm so open about being trans on the internet, right? Like, sure, it invites harassment, but that's something that I can happily deal with if I educate someone and maybe even help someone figure out their identity, which, from my understanding, I've been helpful with identities in the past, which is extremely, um, extremely cool to know and very, very nice to know that I can help people with something like that. Excuse me. Living on hard mode. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I'm not. I think it was Minnow, um, who helped me. Well, not. I don't know if I would say directly, but um, were talking about a friend who was Etherean and used it pronouns. First character creation. I don't think character creation is the right word. Your first character is free. You gotta pay to make changes. What is Suda 51? Where do you grind tears? What? I'm confused. This must be a reference that I'm not understanding. Alright. I'm gonna die to Seath trying to get the tail cut. Watch. No More Heroes? I've never played No More Heroes, so unfortunately I still don't understand. But I'm sure there's something in there. That makes sense. Yeah, true. Asking the way you did does give implications about, like, especially when you said filling a void, that definitely gave off the vibe that you already had ideas of um what it was, and you're trying to confirm a bias rather than um just asking a question. The way you word questions is extremely important when it comes to getting unbiased answers. Dark Souls 2, yeah, that's true. Dark Souls 2 is a trans Souls. Something. I hope a clam doesn't get in. I don't think it did, but it might have. Wouldn't matter too much. I don't want to destroy the crystal. I think the best way to do it is to let Seath destroy the crystal for you, and then run behind him while he's attacking. I think that's what I read on the internet. Which is what matters, right? Okay, no clams, which is good. Gotta get to that. There we go. Nice. Easy. Oh, that's not good. I'm pretty sure that'll one-shot me. I'm not using an unupgraded Moonlight Greatsword to kill Seath, though. all of Renala's sweetings are just trans girls. I like that headcanon. Oh. This one is much harder. Calamites is super easy. I've gotten that question twice. I can try to do the Obsidian Greatsword tailcut in this stream. Okay. I'm gonna go upgrade the weapon real quick. Almost accidentally bought that. I'm pretty sure that would reset my quantity, which I do not want. Come on. There we go. Of course. Nice. We should have a decent amount of damage now. I'm gonna rest here before I forget. Can I put on armor? Oh, the Firelink bonfire is out. It doesn't really matter, but I kind of forgot about that. Oh well. How heavy is the Greatsword? Only 6, okay. Pretty light. I think that's actually lighter than the Black Knight Halberd. Okay, and I want to get repair from Dusk real quick. Seath responsible? I think it's more like Gwendolyn would be responsible. The other trans character, right? He's very understanding. So I don't know, maybe Ornstein was just like a social transition. Liza P is annoying. That might be the first time I've ever heard a dissenting opinion against Liza P. I need to play that soon. But I want to finish my Dark Souls 2 series first, and then I want to do a series on Liza P. I don't know. We'll see, but that's probably what I'll end up doing. Dysphoria fades. No, Gwen didn't force Gwendolyn to be trans, what? Gwendolyn was a cis woman and then transitioned to be a trans man. Like, I forgot about the hitbox. Gwendolyn's gender was decided by affinity rather than sex. I really wish I had stamina right now. A bizarre way. It says that he was raised as a daughter because of his affinity to the moon. That's what it explicitly says, that his gender was, his assigned gender at birth was decided specifically by his affinity. It doesn't say anything about sex outside of him being born male, right? Like, I think that's more to put a dichotomy on the fact that sex and gender are completely separate in the world of Dark Souls. No? He didn't take the feminine path. Gwyn forced him to be raised as a daughter because of his affinity. Okay, I don't want to use... Well, I guess I can jump attack. Just like it should be in real life. Oh, not the affinity part. Okay, yeah, I agree. This is the most dangerous one. Uh-oh. That's so little damage and so much endurance. Or... durability damage, Jesus. I think it's 5 casts of the R2 before it's at risk. Come on, get up, please. I hate this one. I need to get this one down as soon as possible. Well, okay. I guess I'll do it next. Well, yeah, but Gwendolyn very, very, very clearly wants to be considered masculine. He calls himself the son of the Dark Moon. Or sorry, the Dark Sun, right? He calls himself the Dark Sun Gwendolyn. And sun is masculine in his society, right? So he considers himself masculine. He opposes himself to masculinity, and puts himself close to things that are considered masculine in his society, as opposed to, you know, calling himself the Dark Moon Gwendolyn, right? And then there's all the stuff with like the Dark Moon blades. What if Gwendolyn is gender fluid? Whoa. My whole headcanon was just changed completely. Okay. Gwendolyn is gender fluid. That's my new opinion. That's why the Covenant and everything is Dark Moon, but he is considered the Dark Sun. Maybe it's just a femboy. I don't know. I like gender fluid Gwendolyn. He talking about biological fact. Gender isn't biological. Well, it is because neurology is biology, but like, which in which case, yes, it is a biological fact. So either way, you're wrong. Assuming you were talking to me. Come on. Oh. Yeah, like everything that I've ever seen about Gwendolyn points to him being an AFAB trans man. Like, yeah. Um, he he was born with an affinity to the moon, which made him be raised as a woman, or a daughter, I guess, is the words that the game uses. Um, but he was a quote unquote dark and brooding goddess. He hated being considered. He hated being adjacent to femininity, which is why he calls himself the Dark Sun. He guards his father's tomb. Like he washes out. The way I put it in, I think it was my the Gwendolyn essay that I did a while back. He washes out the light of the moon and the light of the pale sun, right? Because he wants to be cloaked in masculinity, for lack of a better term. The biological argument is stupid, yes. I agree. No, you don't need to be a man to admire your father, but he also just like it's less that he admires his father, I think, and more that he wants to be seen in the same light as his father, for lack of better terms. Yeah. Just like my father raised me to be brought up as a man. Wow. He also like has he him pronouns in game despite being raised as a daughter, right? So I don't know. I don't even think Gwen was abusive or anything. I don't think there's anything to support that. Like he obviously very much respects his father. He just didn't want to be raised as a woman. um so, you know. Yeah, they failed, thankfully. Same. Because it's a fantasy world, and understanding how characters are treated in the fantasy world is important to understanding what the characters represent. Oh. What do you mean, why would they care? You really like Bridget? Bridget calls herself a woman, doesn't she? Wait, what war is there to be there? Huh? That's funny. That there would be any dissent about that at all. Like, Dark Souls lore is intentionally, like, difficult to understand, right? It's intentionally marred it with... Not marred, but mired in, like... Not confusion, but, like, you know... uncertainty. So, like... A debate around Gwendolyn's gender makes sense, but... Bridget? Huh? Why are people pissed? Well, no, actually, that makes sense. Just kidding. 4 kings. Oh yeah, I don't have the ring on, but you can see the icon there. Might as well put this on. Beyond us mortal queers, that's valid. But does it make sense to consider him, who is constantly and exclusively referred to as masculine, who was forcibly brought up as a daughter, well, not forcibly, that's probably the wrong term, but he was raised as a daughter, which is very much not a trans femme thing. um, Especially, in 2011. He was raised as a daughter and then later, or, very vehemently and obviously disliked it. I don't know that that is a thing that you would want to be associated with being trans femme, right? It's like, well, yes, there is uncertainty within the Dark Souls lore. There are also concrete things that happened, at least as close to concrete as we can get them, right? Excuse me. Thank you. I think for me, it's less that I don't think it would be cool for him to be trans femme, and more that I don't want trans femininity to be associated with the things that happened to Gwendolyn, if that makes sense. Not don't want to, but don't see it as connected. It's, well, no, him being mentioned as male, it's not. It happens in like one or two item descriptions, and it's very clearly just to set up the fact that sex is not determined, or sorry, gender is not determined by sex in this world, right? It's not like Emerald that he's a male. It's like, yeah, he's a male, but he was raised as a daughter because moon affinity. I think the worst Dark Souls gender representation is Henri being a male if you choose a female character. That's the worst thing about Dark Souls, I think. Oh. Snake legs. Snake legs would be pretty cool. Oh, I should get repair. Like, that's a lot of effort. Pardon me. Ancient Crank Assembly proud. Yeah, luckily I haven't forgot to drink water and have drank a significant amount this stream. Okay. Working shouldn't be difficult, I don't think. Yeah. I don't know. I like, admittedly, that's not what I meant to put on. I was gonna put the ring on, but then remembered that I don't actually have to. Admittedly, it does make sense that Henri's gender changes based on your character, because most people who play the game are straight, because most people are straight, but it is quite unfortunate. I want to equip humanity, just in case. Indie metal band. And I feel like they didn't do that with Ronnie. First of all, because Ronnie is a much more fleshed out character than Henri. Also, their names are almost... What is it when you rearrange the letters and get a different word? You know what I mean? Almost that, which would be funny if it was intentional. Anyway, Ronnie's a more fleshed out character, but also I think marriage in Elden Ring is more of a symbolic thing in a lot of ways than an actual, like, love thing, so they don't care to do that. Is this black magic damage? Yes. Okay. That was greedy. Good damage, though. skill issue on my part. Oh, whoops. Oh well. Doesn't look like Three Kings is going to be happening this time, but that's fine. Yeah, anagram. Yeah. Thank you for joining while you could, Wawa. Hope you have a good night. Why am I saying so much today? I'm fine. Probably. That was greedy. Very much greedy. Yeah, I think that's why they were less... Or I think that's why they also explored the whole incest thing. Also probably because of George. But because marriage is more symbolic than actually, like, romantic. A developing crush? I must have missed that in my playthrough. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it is also like royal family stuff though too, so I don't know. Maybe it's not. But I've always read it as more symbolic than romantic. In Elden Ring specifically. I don't think I'm particularly off base for thinking that, but I understand the opposite. I don't know, because there's the whole Fia thing, right? And I feel like she is explicitly more than just symbolically wanting to be with the Death Prince, right? So I don't know. Fia is poly. Forgot about that one. Okay. I'm gonna get Vitality just a bit. 20 is more than enough. Okay. I'm gonna... Well... Okay, I'm gonna go get the Broken Pendant. And then I'm gonna go get... Repair, and then rest at the bonfire in the DLC and warp back out from there. Just so I don't have to run down to the basin more than once. Yeah, true. Maybe I should have gone Endurance, but I don't know. I think I'm fine with my DPS right now. I think low Endurance is more fun for me a lot of the time. Or I'm just used to it. I don't know. People talking like they know things on TikTok is one of my least favorite things. A great example of that is the... God, there was a huge trend on TikTok for a while of people being like, why do poly people look like that? And it was so obviously, like so obviously bigoted in so many different ways. But I thought it was more funny than anything because all the poly people I know are like, don't fit the stereotype that they're talking about at all. They're also just like extremely attractive, which is hilarious to me. I don't know. Vitality as your strength also kind of makes sense. I get it. I mean, TikTok is good if you get on the good communities, right? Like, I don't know. Even the more popular ones, I try to avoid all like big communities, with the exception of Sonic. But like even the couple big ones that I have been in, I say Sonic specifically because obviously the Sonic fandom is full of autistic people. So you're significantly less likely to find toxicity there. But even like the Invincible fandom is a lot less toxic than I was anticipating, which is funny. I'm really surprised this one-shots them actually, considering I thought they would be magic resistant, but I guess they're not. Not complaining. Poly, but not extremely attractive. I don't know. A lot of poly people who are extremely attractive say that they aren't too, so that might be evidence to the contrary. I don't have any more bones. I don't need any more bones though, so it's okay. Oh yeah, that's fair. Not getting addicted to TikTok is a very good reason to avoid it. I wouldn't say I'm addicted to it, but I do open it up when I'm like waiting for anything. Usually as like as a thing to do when I don't have anything else to do. Like normally I'll open Discord or whatever first and go through my server. And if there's nothing on there, then maybe I'll open like Blue Sky, and if I don't see any interesting posts, then I'll go on TikTok. But I do still spend a not insignificant amount of time on TikTok. Yeah, see, AOR is a great example of the fact that people who say that they're not attractive can be sometimes. Extremely. Actually, most of the time in my experience. You hate Sonic? Why do you hate Sonic? Sonic's cool. He's way past cool. What? I swear I didn't press that button. I'm so confused. Why do you put trans in quotes there? Out of curiosity. Because being self-deprecating is against the rules. It is in the server, and those rules apply here. Yeah, also it's not good for you. Which is why it's part of the rules. Okay, I'll probably... How much is repair? And can you buy a staff from Dusk? I think you can, right? Self-depreciating. Okay, I kind of want to fight Sanctuary Guardian now out of curiosity, but I don't know if I should. Maybe save my favorite boss for a little bit later. Just for last or whatever. Closet was glass, okay. Understandable. My experience with finding out I was trans was using any pronouns in the hopes that people would say she for me. Wait, why is there someone sign not here? Huh? Do I need to go to the Elizabeth? Joke that Dark Souls made you trans. I mean, I don't think that would be inaccurate for me. Dark Souls was definitely very much a part of my life as I came out of Christianity, which was a very, very tumultuous point mentally for me. And Dark Souls very much helped me through that, so I don't think it would be too much of a stretch to say that Dark Souls was at least a significant part of my transition. Yeah, any pronouns phase. I feel like it's a stereotype at this point. You failed. You did fail. I mean, the gay part's pretty cool. Throwing a bunch of pronouns, yeah. I think I went for any because I wasn't ready to admit to myself that I was, in fact, a girl. Especially after so long being Christian and, like, staunchly against it. And at the time, I wasn't against, you know, being trans or whatever anymore. But it was still very much a big change for me. Like, I had just barely accepted that I wasn't straight. Which at the time, I thought, I thought I was bi. Which I wasn't. I'm a lesbian, firmly. So at the time, technically, I thought I should have thought I was straight. I don't know if it's fair to say that I'm a lesbian fully anymore. I am. I don't know. It's complicated. Something I don't want to explain right now. That's not the right word. I'd be happy to explain it, but I don't think it bears explaining right now. on a wheel every week and it worked itself out. That's genius. I wish I would have thought of that. Uh-oh. Ah! Owie. Okay. I don't need to heal. I'm not a coward. I should have been a coward. I'm gonna be a little bit more careful. I think I'll get one shot at this point. Maybe not from like the swipes, but well, I don't know. It's probably fine. I'm gonna like pay attention to the game though. So sorry if I don't read chat for a second. There we go. Only queerphobic to myself. I don't think that's is that an old thing? Is that common? Well, I think the fact that you're okay with any pronouns, Plant Boss, shows that you're more secure. It's not even being about being secure in your gender. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I think that does show something about your character that is different from most trans people in terms of how gender feels, I guess. Also, that's way cheaper than I was expecting it to be. Do I have an attunement slot? It sort of Bandit. I don't know if I do. I do not. I need one more level. Unfortunate. Yeah, I don't know. At least one? It would be... Also, I thought that would be 16,000. I don't know why. Let's see. How many is it? It's 4? I think. Four of my partners aren't fully girl. Wait, no. Not you. I forgot what I was doing. Have a good night, Eric. I definitely did not read that as kick for a second, and I was very confused as to what you were asking me to do. Okay, time to go fight Bit of Chaos. Anyway, Erica, thank you for being here while you could. Have a good night. Hopefully... Gotta work on the bosses. I mean, once you get to the point where you've played this game as much as I have, it's not difficult to just have bosses memorized. Lick their what? What do you mean we struggle to be around them? I mean, so I think honestly, there's a lot of ways that could go, because there are a lot of instances where it is extremely valid to be made to feel uncomfortable around a lot of neurodivergent people. And I'm going to say neurodivergent because I assume a lot of what you consider weird is like a lot of different autistic tendencies, and I fully understand that it is difficult to be around certain individuals who might express certain... I don't want to say symptoms because that's not right, but certain autistic tendencies, right? Like I know stims can be, ironically, extremely overstimulating for people who aren't stimming, right? As an example. But I don't think it's wrong to say that it's hard to be around certain neurodivergent people. But when you apply that as a whole, I think that's where it gets a little bit more murky. And I'm not gonna like armchair. I'm not gonna be an armchair like diagnose you as bigoted or whatever, or internal bigotry. But I think that is something that's worth analyzing, because for me, once I realized I was autistic, and also especially started talking to people who I genuinely love as people who are neurodivergent and especially autistic, a lot of those tendencies stopped being frustrating. They stopped being annoying and stopped being weird to me even. And a lot of them are more like, it's just a part of who they are as a person. And I don't really assign a value to it either way, as negative or positive. And that just comes from experience and introspection. And I'm not like saying that you're a bad person for thinking that or whatever. Quite the opposite. I think analyzing that is a really, really good thing to do. I could have warped. I forgot about that. But yeah, that is definitely part of it. Like, I don't think you should blame yourself for having a hard time with being around certain neurodivergent tendencies, but I do think that is something that's worth looking into. Felt more connected to Dark Souls characters and people. I don't think that's an uncommon thing for a lot of weird people, generally, to be honest. We've been having fun? That's a good question. I was actually working on my mod this morning. If you'll notice, I am not wearing the Covenant of Artorias, but I have the effect on. That is part of the mod, and that applies to the orange shard ring as well, which we'll see in a minute. But I genuinely just forgot to change those files back to vanilla, and they're a hassle to change back anyway. So I'm not really worried about it for streams. But I was working on that this morning, and I have to rebalance basically all magic enchantments, or infusions rather. So magic, and then enchanted, as well as divine and occult. I'm rebalancing all of them, which is taking a very long time. And then there are a couple other changes, a couple that I'm not exactly sure how to do, but hopefully the first like trial release of that will be out soon. Like maybe in a couple weeks. I don't know. It depends on how much time I have to work on it, but hopefully that will be soon to play. Yeah, and it's not even like it's more of a quality of life thing. I was hesitant to do it because of how they interact with those portions of the game, but they're also minor. It's more like not frustrating, but it's more of like a road bump than anything. So I didn't have much of a problem with getting rid of that. Act weird. That's funny. Well, thank you for being here, Mike. Hope you have a good night or day, depending on your time zone. And we're only an hour and a half in. We're actually going pretty fast. So with armor, especially like I wanted to encourage upgrading armor because of how it's like not useful at all in the base game. But I'm not sure how I can do that. Like obviously I could give upgraded armor like more buffs or whatever, but I don't know. It's just the way that would be done is I don't know. I don't think there's a good way to do it because upgraded armor is already so powerful. I think just having the extra Titanite to be able to do that is the important part there, which is already done. So hopefully armor upgrades will be more encouraged, especially with I should make things do more damage, but I also just don't want to increase damage across the board because I feel like that wouldn't feel very good. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully it ends up feeling good with how I end up doing it. But that's what I wanted to do, right? I wanted to give auxiliary effects to fully upgraded armor. But first of all, I'm not sure if I can even do that. But on top of that, I feel like it would become more of a grind to just like see what armor does in the first place. And I don't want it to feel grindy, and I don't want it to feel necessary or even be, I don't know, you know. That's difficult to justify, I think, bringing it up. I can't buff poise on upgrade using normal methods, unfortunately, because armor poise doesn't upgrade, or doesn't increase as you upgrade the armor, so I'd have to add that in manually, which would be, I don't even know how I'd go about doing that, to be honest. Yeah, that was my thought. If you're playing the mod, then you've already played Dark Souls a lot. That's kind of the intended audience for the mod, right? People who've played Dark Souls quite a bit. Also get stats. Um, not easily. Yeah, I guess I could give a hint to what the buff would be. I don't know. Again, it's also like hard to justify for the amount of work it would take. I think it would be cool if I can figure out how to do it. Then I can have it slated for like a 2.0 release or whatever, right? So I don't know. I mean, early game armor is still good. Like you find the knight set extremely early and the elite knight set as well. Like most people would find that right after their gargoyles, and those are incredible armor sets. So at some point, armor just kind of becomes fashion or like circumstantial. Like the gold hem set is really, really good circumstantially. um, in fact, arguably one of the best sets in the game. I don't know. I'm not wearing it. It might be heavier. Oh, okay. Hopefully the mod will be done before Night Rain. I got 2 months, so hopefully, but no promises. Oh god. No, don't do that again. Stop. Got very unlucky with that opening. Jeez. I made Moonlight Greatsword buffable though. So it'll actually synergize with Spellsword builds. Can you stop, please? Jesus. Yeah, I'm excited for Night Rain. I'll definitely be playing it like release day. Crystal Magic Greatsword. And also like if you want to synergize it with or like even just pine resins for different kinds of damage on the weapon, right? Too. So, you know, not infusable, but buffable. You won't be able to like make it enchanted to change the scaling. But you will be able to add lightning damage or extra magic damage or fire damage. Lightning and fire infusions. Actually, all infusions except for crystal and chaos will be buffable in my mod. So, I mean, close enough. I will be right back. I need to use the restroom. Can I be... Oh, there we go. I got the orange shard ring buff. You could see it fade in as I got the ring, so I think that makes this fight a little bit more interesting in certain ways. I don't know why. It might be my microphone. I'll grab a different microphone for next stream. Anyway, I also mentioned that heavy armor isn't fun because it slows down walk speed, so I would literally just never use heavy armor if it forced you to mid or heavy roll. Happened last time too. I thought it was the XLR cable, but I guess not. Unfortunate. Thank you for pointing that out sooner this time instead of letting me just like run halfway down through Blighttown before I noticed. Well. I don't know. I feel like that would just be frustrating because then you're constantly swapping out your armor. Raise the weight cap? I hadn't considered that, actually. That's not a bad idea. I don't think I will, just because of how armor is balanced in Dark Souls 1. But I will take it into consideration, because I do want it to be easier to have light rolls with heavier armor. Because poise is cool. I want to encourage using armor, because for me now, armor is just kind of worthless. I like just don't need it anymore, so... It'd be cool to have an instance where it's actually useful, despite the potential drawbacks. I don't know. We'll see. Armor is probably my lowest priority. It's more about making infusions usable, right? So, infusions and also encouraging having several damage types. Whatever. Also, I have my bitrate capped at 10,000, but it's at 13,000? 14,000 right now? Is that just OBS overriding my bitrate cap? Damage for percentage based? Is it not in Dark Souls 1? I don't know why I thought it was. I'm gonna be honest. I never really considered that. Probably not. I don't have any interest with changing how mechanics work specifically. It's more like rebalancing the mechanics to make them more usable. I don't know. It's not like I want to fundamentally change how the game is played. I want it to be similar to vanilla, but using things that you never would have used in vanilla, right? Because like Moonlight Greatsword is not good for a spellsword build. Because you can't buff it or anything, right? So instead, I am making the Moonlight Greatsword buffable so that you can use it with a spellsword build, because I think that would be more interesting. I forgot you existed, I'm going to be honest. Paladin will be significantly buffed. I believe the Grant can be buffed as well. If not, I'm definitely going to change it to be that. I do explicitly remember changing the Grant. Arguably, Giant Dad would be even better. If you're doing low-level Giant Dad, Chaos is... Actually, I think I buffed Chaos slightly, because it's just worse than Fire if you have decent scaling. So I buffed Chaos to make it usable, but you also can't buff Chaos weapons. But arguably, Giant Dad would be better. Grant is incredibly underwhelming. The Crescent Axe will also be buffable as well. Wilhelm set plus Crystal Sage hat. Personally, so far, my personal favorite armor set in Dark Souls 3 is the Alva pants and gauntlets with the Fire Witch robe. I haven't found a good helmet to go with it, but Crystal Sage hat is up there for sure. I think Spellsword will be a lot more fun just because you'll actually be able to use your main damage type on the weapon. Oh, cool. everything's fine. Ah, come on. Imported sound. Yeah, Crystal Sage Hat and nothing else is also pretty good. The Firekeeper robes are also very pretty. I like the Herald set. If it's specifically a set that doesn't, like, it's one full set instead of mixing and matching armor, Herald set or the Fallen Knight set are probably my favorite. Probably Herald set beats it out by a little bit. Dinghy set is pretty good, though. I don't think I've ever used Philhelm set, though. I also haven't explored the DLC very much and gotten the armor sets there, to be honest. There we go. Dark Souls 2 for Omset is incredible. Dark Souls 3 for Omset is unfortunate, in my opinion. Depending on how the poll looks next week, it's either going to be Crescent Axe or Estoc, I believe. And I'm very excited to do both of those. So the stream lineup, I think, is pretty interesting coming up. I think there is still time to influence it, because they were pretty close last I checked. I think it was 18% for the Crescent Axe and 17% to the Estoc, as opposed to the, like, 50% to the Moonlight Greatsword. And then there was another weapon, and I genuinely don't remember what I put on there as the last weapon. Pardon me. Yeah, the Estoc is probably... Well... Ricard's Rapier is pretty good. I was gonna say it's the best thrusting sword, but I forgot Ricard's Rapier. Once I do the normal rapier, I'll probably put, like, most underwhelming weapon in the thumbnail, because I remember very much not enjoying my playthrough that I did with the rapier. I didn't even do a full playthrough. I only did, like, gargoyles and maybe Quelaag with the rapier, and I've also done Centipede Demon with a +5 rapier, which was fine, but the Estoc. I hope you're okay, Krista. Don't die, please. That would be very bad. But also, please feel better soon. I don't think I've ever actually used the Estoc's heavy. Most of my use from the Estoc is just the running attack, obviously, because it's one of the best attacks in the game. I've never, like, actually explored its moveset very much. Aerithal Rapier. I don't think I ever used that either. I didn't even know that was a thing. There we go. Very difficult pinwheel fight. Honestly, that might be worth putting on. Yeah, I don't know. Just for stamina management, I think that will be better to have on. Surprising stance damage? I don't think I've ever even noticed stance damage in Dark Souls 3, to be honest, because poise is funky. I guess it's less funky with enemies, but I don't know. I don't pay attention to poise very much in Dark Souls 3. So. Yeah, Demon Scar had so much potential. I should probably level up, actually. Give me a bit of endurance, yeah. What other weapon catalysts even are there? I know the disc chime in Dark Souls 2 is, like, surprisingly good as a melee weapon, despite the tiny range. What else is there? Candlestick? I forgot about that one. Yeah, I don't know. I wish there were more. Oh yeah, Blue Flame. Blue Flame was fun. I did a playthrough, a bit of a playthrough with that. I don't remember how far I got, but I remember it being really fun. Okay, I guess it's less that there should be more of them and more that they should be better to actually encourage using them, because I didn't realize there were so many. um, Manus Catalyst is pretty good. That counts. Yeah, the two exceptions that I can think of are the Disc Chime and Manus Catalyst. Just for being freaky. That's entirely valid. Blue Flame isn't late game. It's in the... Well, I guess you have to go G Game Plus for it, but, like, I don't know, just get an aesthetic. It's only in the... Brightstone. Jesus, Brightstone Cove. It's only in Seldora. It's not that late game. That's, like... Actually a pretty early game for me most of the time. I'll usually go to Seldora immediately after I beat the center. So I can max out my weapon early. Because there's a ton of chunks there and stuff. And I usually put it into New Game Plus anyway, so that I can get more chunks. So. Oh, good. Thanks, Nito. Appreciate that. Oh my god. Of course. Nito, stop! Oh my god. Jesus. There must be something that triggers that attack, right? Maybe losing line of sight or something? Okay. This damage is very much not bad. Hey, can you not, actually? Very rude. Probably because FromSoft wanted you to be able to get them earlier? Well, actually, I don't know. That's a good question. You can get to Gravelord Servant pretty easy, pretty early. I don't know. I feel like a lot of Covenant rewards in Dark Souls 1 are underwhelming a lot of the time. I understand where you're coming from, because Dark Souls 2 does have a lot on Dark Souls 1. Personally, I prefer how Dark Souls 1 feels, and also have autism, so I like Dark Souls 1 a lot more, and would argue it's better in most ways for me personally. But I definitely understand where you're coming from, and would say that from a, I hate to say objective standpoint, but from a standpoint where you're only looking at the pros and cons of the game, Dark Souls 2 has a lot more to it in a lot of ways. Well, Dark Souls 2 was 50% for mid-roll, right? And then Dark Souls 3 was like 70% for mid-roll or something. Levels didn't feel disconnected. What do you mean? Dark Souls 2 levels feel disconnected? I mean, I guess. It feels a lot more cohesive to me than Dark Souls 3 personally, but I guess I see where you're coming from. I, I think that's a reason to not like Dark Souls 3. Because yes, the magic swords are extremely pretty and they're all terrible. Like, well, I guess not all of them. Some of them are pretty good, but like, dancer swords. Dancer swords are such a good reason to despise Dark Souls 3. Earthen Peak to Iron Keep feels like one of, not a cohesive entrance for sure, but like, I don't know, they feel connected in a weird timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly kind of way, you know what I mean? It feels like they should be there. Not that they should be there, but it feels like it makes sense that they're there for the world that they're in, is more what I mean. So I would argue that that makes it feel more real as a world, because there's something so incredibly strange like that, and the world is so incredibly strange. Gated Woods to Drang Lake? I don't know. Like, Anne Orlando to Duke's Archives, or Anne Orlando to Sen's Fortress, you know? Has the same vibe going on. At least nighttime in Orlando. I'm gonna activate Calamite. I'm gonna hit the shortcut first. I can't believe I almost forgot the shortcut. That would have been unfortunate. Haven't tried Dark Souls 2 yet? Highly recommend it. Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin was my first Souls game, and it made me fall in love with the series. I didn't beat it before Dark Souls 1, but I did play it quite a bit. Yeah, people hate on Dark Souls 2 gank fights, and then you play Dark Souls 3, and there are so many more, especially early on. Get out of here. Okay, that was a very unnecessary R2. I was more thinking for the range, but when the dog is already there, maybe not. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, within the levels, you do get ganked in Dark Souls 3 levels. Like, unavoidably, a lot of the time. Yeah, Dark Souls 2 levels are very much not ganky. I'm talking more about bosses, right? So you have, early on, you have Ruin Sentinels, you have... what's the... I mean, I guess Magus and Congregation, Runewatcher and Defender are considered a quote-unquote bad gank fight, even though I think they're a pretty good fight. Like, Dark Souls 2 does have a lot of gank boss fights. Some arguably not super fun, but very arguably. But Dark Souls 3 has a ton, especially early on. Bloodborne has your favorite fashion? I hear that a lot, and I'm very much the opposite. I think Dark Souls 2 has my favorite fashion, followed by Dark Souls 1. But Dark Souls 3 is pretty good too. I love Rune Sentinels. Rune Sentinels are my favorite boss in Dark Souls 2, and probably top 3 in the series. I do not like gargoyles either. I don't know. Bloodborne fashion is boring because it's all one motif, and that's kind of it, right? And if you like that motif, then that is awesome. But if you don't love that motif, it gets really, really boring really, really quickly, right? So, I don't know. I don't love Bloodborne fashion, but I understand liking it if you like the style. No, that's not good. How much poise damage does the sword do? Does it? do good poise damage. I can't imagine it does the same. Also, Jesus, skill issue. I can't imagine it does super good poise damage being pure magic, but it also might do good pure poise damage because Greatsword, right? Don't roll into me. That was rude. Okay, I'm not even gonna try for that. I need to heal. French maid outfits. That would make Bloodborne fashion better, that's true. You do have the doll set. It's not a French maid costume, but it's arguably maid-esque, right? Cloak religious. Yeah. Exactly my point. Like, if you like it, hell yeah. If you don't... Ooh, I should have rolled away, but I was holding left and my brain got confused. I think it's 2 hits. Okay, it is 2 hits. Good. It's always scary to do when you don't know the actual poise damage on a weapon. Oh, owie. That was pure greed, and I'm happy to admit to that. Okay. Definitely would like an opportunity to heal. He rolls away. No! Okay, everything's fine. Both taking a moment to back off. Welcome back briefly. Hope you enjoy your stay. Oh god. Everything's fine. Oops. Okay, one more. Just need that opportunity first. Bonk. That wasn't it. I thought that would be it. I died to greed. That is unfortunate. I wonder, because when you get to that last little sliver of health, it doesn't actually show. So I wonder how close it really was. That is unfortunate. I should have just backed off. That wasn't... Ugh. I should not have gone for that last attack. I apologize for making everyone watch me fight Artorias again. Jesus. Yeah. Yeah, easy until you think it is. That's such a good way to put that. Oops. I don't know. I feel like just because it's wizard robes and plate armor as opposed to just cloaks, you know? I think for that reason, I would argue that it has better variety than Bloodborne, but I understand where you're coming from. Making you watch the run back, yeah, that's... Sorry, I'm walking. I'm one-handed for a second. Okay. I can think of a... Well, I like the royal robe or whatever, right? The one that... Raya's wearing. Human Raya. That's one of my favorite pieces of armor in that game. Like, it's not good, but it's pretty. That's what matters. The witch set is also pretty light, isn't it? Also, the Godskin set. That's light. You know, I should have cast a repair before entering the fight, but it's fine. I'm gonna be a little bit less greedy attempt to be this time. We'll see if I succeed in that. Need to be careful with my attack opportunities, even if I think I'm about to win. Okay, so far so good. The roll attack does not seem good on this, unfortunately, just in terms of damage. But I don't even think it's that much faster than an R1 either, which is usually the best part of the roll attack. Like, especially Demon's Great Axe rolling attack is really, really good because it's super fast, but that's not really the case here. Whoa. Almost didn't see that because of the particle effects. No. Thank you for yelling at me. I appreciate that. Hitless Artorias. That's better. Your internet doesn't go through your door. That's unfortunate. That's part of the reason I got Ethernet recently. It's also the Wi-Fi has been terrible, but the internet itself is fine, which is really weird. That's the main reason I got Ethernet recently, but intelligent. 20 endurances. Plate armor with wizard robes is a good combo. Plated wizard robe. Eating raw noodles. Like ramen. Owie. Owie. Get off. That's the first time I've done that in a long time. What do you mean Ethernet doesn't work for you? Could you plug it into the right router port? Yeah, that's a good reason. Oh, I thought that was about to be attacked. Stop laughing at me. Rude. Need to remember to grab the crest key this time. It could be your motherboard, or if you have a dedicated card. If you have a motherboard, you should try a dedicated Ethernet card, and if you don't have a dedicated Ethernet card, you should try the motherboard. Or no, other way around. If it's a dedicated card that's not working, then try the motherboard, obviously. Yeah, it just kind of works. Hardest part about the Artorias fight is playing with one hand. True. I don't need to. Oh my god! I'm alive, technically. Get out of here. Okay. Everything's fine. Pardon me. Spooky. What the? Is this the one I didn't kill? I should have killed it. Jesus. Okay, everything's fine. Jump in the correct position this time. Here we go. I should cast a repair just in case, actually. Yeah, it could just be your motherboard acting up. I've had issues like that before. So I would recommend getting a, excuse me, a dedicated Ethernet card. Should hopefully fix that. Have I done? I'm pretty sure I've done a Moonlight Butterfly Horn run. To be honest, at this point, I've forgotten what weapons I have and haven't streamed. I'm pretty sure I've done a stream with the Moonlight Butterfly Horn, though. Also, doing this without Estes is scary. This is arguably the hardest part of the DLC, case in point. Yeah, I would lose the fight if I got grabbed by Lady Maria, too. I mean, yeah, it does a lot of damage. I'm back for more. I would argue that Xbox is probably a better console most of the time than PlayStation. But I don't know. I do have a Sony box and I don't hate it. It lets me play Gravity Rush, Demon Souls, and Bloodborne, and that's all I really need. Oh my goodness. Ugh. Gravity Rush is so good. Oh my god. I need to finish Gravity Rush too. Highly, highly recommend them if you're able to. Actually, Gravity Rush 1, the PS Vita version, is extremely easy to emulate. I was able to emulate at full speed on my laptop. And it's not like a terrible laptop. It has a 3060 and whatever, but it's also a 3060 laptop edition. Yeah, if the PS4 emulator ends up being like good, that's a good way to play Gravity Rush. I would kill for a Gravity Rush 3. You have no idea. I got a secondhand PS4 just for Bloodborne, and then I got a brand new PS5 just for Demon Souls. I paid like 600 for it, and it was the discless version too. That's the one I still have. I need to sell. I have two PS4s. Oh my god, I forgot. I got a secondhand PS4, for for Bloodborne. Then I got a second PS4 Pro that I could hack it, and then install the Elden Ring network test version like before Elden Ring actually came out. And I was able to do that, and I played it for a little bit. Before Elden Ring came out, and played the network test quite a bit. And then I also got a PS5 for consoles. At the time, I was much better off than I am now, though. Because PS5s didn't exist at the time that I got my first PS4. And you can't hack PS5s, so. Honestly, Gravity Rush 2 on the PS5 with gyro is probably my least favorite part of playing Gravity Rush. I do not like the gyro at all, but I understand where you're coming from. That is damage, technically. That is a number that showed up on Manus's health bar. Oh. I just wanted to get away from the wall. Okay. This fight will end eventually. A little bit better of a number, I suppose. I suck at this game. It's just Manus. I'm good at this fight sometimes. That was a very greedy heal. Yeah, unfortunate. I can't believe I got hit by that attack twice. Jesus. Unfortunate that I don't have the red tearstone ring right now. Honestly, I deserve to lose this attempt. Maybe should use a humanity real quick. Yeah, eventually, I don't know. I have a PS5 with Bloodborne, so emulating it is kind of pointless for me. Um, but also, it'll be a lot easier to record when I do my Bloodborne series, so hopefully it's at the point where it's good enough for me to do a video with it by the time I want to do that. Fingers crossed. Oh. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are here mostly for the chat. um, which is understandable. That's the only reason I ever watch streams, and I don't watch streams very often. But... Unlocked pasta? Define what you mean by that, please? Oh my goodness. This happens every stream. I don't know why I don't expect it every stream. Well, I wouldn't want visual glitches, like, in the recording, right? That's the main thing. If visual glitches are avoidable somehow, then I'd be happy to use the emulator, but if there is, like, if there's gonna be visual glitches, even minor ones, I wouldn't want to use that, especially since I have access to a non-emulated version. That was so early. Skill issue. Yeah, I just don't watch streams. I don't know. It's not even streamers. It's just like, oh, I am very dead. Oh, okay. It's just that, like, it's so much easier to watch YouTube videos. I told you I deserve to lose that attempt. I don't think this is necessary, but I'm going to. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's just easier for me to watch videos because I don't need to... I can do it on my own time, I think is the thing. Hey Krista, welcome back. I hope you're able to feel fully better soon. And breathing is good. Breathing is very good. Yeah, and you can't put a stream at double speed. That is also another very large negative. ADHD is rough. Maybe I should commission Nikki for a PNG tuber model. I don't know that I would want to do that though, to be honest. I like kind of just having the game in the chat on screen. But I don't know, maybe that would make it feel more personable and would make the videos that come out of the streams better. Easier to watch. I'm gonna heal. I don't know if that's a safe heal. It is. Actually, I don't know if it's fully safe, but... Oh my god, let me out! I need to heal again. Oh, what? Why am I experiencing such skill issue? Jesus. Gale is your favorite boss because he says the thing. Yeah. I wish I liked Gale. A lot of people really like Gale, and I get it, but he's just so annoying. The worst part is he's easy, right? He's an incredibly long, pretty easy fight that has some really jank stuff in it. Like he can spin 180 degrees mid-air after choosing a trajectory. The crossbow bolts are really annoying. The lightning is really annoying. The AoE projectiles are annoying. Ugh, I don't know. I don't like Gale. I get it if you do, especially for lore reasons, but I just cannot. 3 to 4 minutes is a very, very long fight in my experience. Flashy fights, yeah, that's understandable. I don't need those souls. I don't know why I'm worried about that. Whoa. Again, it's not, Gale isn't hard. I can avoid the crossbow bolts. It's just like annoying to have to, because it takes so long, and all you're doing is holding one button. I don't know. Most of those attacks are extremely easy to dodge, and extremely not engaging, is the thing. Like Dancer has a weird rhythm, and that makes her engaging. Demon Princes, there's 2 of them, and that makes that engaging. Twin Princes have the magic, which makes them engaging, but then Gale just doesn't have anything that makes him particularly engaging. Like, he does have the lightning, which you do kind of have to pay attention to, but that's also extremely easy to dodge. So, I don't know. Because of that, you know, you would think that maybe I would like Nameless King, but actually Nameless is my least favorite boss in that entire game too, so I don't know what's up with my preferences, to be honest. I also really don't like Midir, which seems to go against liking the engaging part of the fight, you know? So, I don't know. Yeah, and dodging the cloak is easy. You just roll kind of late. I don't know. Like, for me, Abyss Watchers are harder to dodge, or Abyss Watcher Phase 2 is harder to dodge than Gale. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take pretty much every damage opportunity I can get here. He usually jumps away. I don't know if that's 100% safe, but it's pretty safe, and I can survive a hit or two, so should be fine. Really? Again? Thank you. This is the most I've ever seen the ring attack in one fight, or in subsequent fights, because he killed me with it last time, and I think he used it twice last time too, including the one that killed me. It's usually a semi-rare attack. Okay, unfortunately I do need to pay attention to the game instead of chat for a moment, but hopefully I can beat Menace this try. So far so good. That's unfair. Oh my god. Okay, everything's fine. Don't like anything about Nameless King. Yeah, that's where I'm at. First phase is annoying, especially to redo if you die. The second phase is... I think it's his pace for me. I don't think his pace is fun, but it's also fast enough that it's difficult purely by virtue of being fast. And I don't think that kind of difficulty is very fun for me. I think that's my issue with Nameless. One of the very few bosses that I actually got straight up mad at during my series. I don't rage at Dark Souls very often anymore, but Nameless and I think Midir were the exceptions to that. I did make sure to put text up on screen during that series to show when I was just salty and when I was actually having criticisms post saltiness. I don't know if that's a safe attack. Is that... Oops. I need to pay attention. Hold on. Gotta lock in. I don't know, because the animation for the one slam and then the one where you can alternate between his hand and his staff, those are different animations. Like that's just the one slam. That's not the one where you can switch to his staff. But I don't know if the one slam is safe for a jump attack specifically. There it is. Okay. Again, King of the Storm isn't hard. It's not because it's hard that it's annoying or whatever. It's just, like, you have to go through it every time, and it's boring. Some of its attacks are annoying, the camera is dumb. Yeah, that's the thing. Nameless's difficulty comes from the speed, and I don't think that's very fun, personally. Okay, Madness time. And, like, Dancer avoids that by just having weird timing, right? That's why Dancer is considered one of the harder bosses in that game. And I think that's super fun, because you can learn that timing, as opposed to, I don't know, having faster reaction time. I killed the Mimic and didn't grab the key. Hold on. Press key. Okay. I have it now. Everything's fine. I'm also going to use this because I did the strong attack a couple times in that last fight. Nameless is, I think, the fastest boss in base game Dark Souls 3, except for maybe Pontiff, which I also don't like, surprisingly enough. Pontiff is probably second least favorite in that game, but he's weak enough that you can bypass that annoyance, or I can bypass that annoyance pretty quickly. Like, just get a +6, it stops being an issue, so I don't know. And if you don't have a +6 at that point, you're probably playing the game. I don't like Dark Souls 3 parries is the issue. Yeah, I would argue that in the trilogy specifically, I think Dark Souls 1 had the easiest base game. But like in the whole series, I would say Demon Souls was significantly easier. You got Rolana. I don't even like Rolana, to be honest. I would be shocked if there wasn't a Dark Souls 3 boss rush mod, to be honest. Why am I saying to be honest so much? There are words, other words. I would be shocked if there wasn't a boss rush mod. Yeah, I just don't like the Pontiff fight because the difficulty comes from the speed. And that changes in the second phase, but then you kill the clone on accident. And then it becomes difficult because of speed again. And it's not, again, it's not that it's specifically difficult. It's that the difficulty comes from a source that isn't fun. Rolana's transition. Just trans Pontiff. I don't know. I didn't love most Elden Ring DLC fights. There are a couple exceptions. I like the Shadow Tree avatar. I like Centipede Lady. I don't remember her name. She was fun. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do the tail cut. I forgot. Hey, do the thing, please. Not that thing. Not that thing. Come on, please. You know you want to. Oh my goodness. What? He's giving me a ton of damage opportunities, but he's not doing the thing. Yeah, I like the Shadow Tree avatar. I know a lot of people found it really annoying, and I don't understand. I understand why, but I also just really liked it. I thought it was a really fun fight to learn. I guess that's actually a good attack to try to get the tail cut on. I didn't even consider that as one for that. Here it is. The thing. I don't think I'm close enough for it. Oh, I am. That attack makes the tail cut unreasonably easy if it happens enough. You actually have enough damage. This one, maybe it's not, you know. Maybe not a good example. What? Put up, please. I don't know if this is tail cut bot, but hey, come on. Do the thing again. Yeah, aside from the beam attacks on the Shadow Tree Avatar, I 100% agree. I had to be free day. What are you talking about? Because 3 phases? How much health does the tail have? I can't imagine it's an insane amount, right? I actually usually try to not cut the tail off, because then he won't do the tail slam, and the tail slam is a great opportunity to get some extra damage. Like, you can hit his leg or whatever. Hey, there it is. Yeah, super, super easy tail cut. If you just do that. And then he loses multiple attacks too, which makes the rest of the boss fight easier. Oh. Uh-oh. The one attack of his that I still don't understand is the backflip, and I don't understand it just because it's insanely rare. Oh, bonked my microphone. Sorry about that. What the? Owie. Oops. Wow. Once again, an instance where I actually need to pay attention to the video game, unfortunately. Oh. Wow. Right in the Waka. I turned Free Day into a tree. Yeah, Bale was pretty... Well, I don't know. I liked Bale purely because Egon, I'm gonna be honest. I don't like to fight, but I like Bale, just because Egon. And I'm sure that's a very common sentiment among... well, I don't know. I guess people generally. How much int do I have? 46? Or something? Yeah, 46. So 4 from the soft cap. Not the Cloaca. Yeah, so, like, normally, I would bait out the tail slam there. But he doesn't have a tail, so he can't do the tail slam, which means less damage overall. Also, immense skill issue on my part. I should not have rolled in there. That was really silly of me to do. There. At least that attack is a good healing opportunity, if nothing else. I would love to be able to see. Normally, I don't have camera issues with Calamite, but... Well, I mean, DLC is insanely resistant to elements. Also, fun fact, Calamite actually does have a slight weakness to lightning. It is extremely slight, but he's less resistant to it than magic and fire, which makes sense. But I always thought he just wasn't resistant, or just wasn't weak to lightning at all. He is very, very slightly weak to lightning. He is significantly more weak to strike damage. I think it's like 50 points of defense less than lightning. But, you know. Yeah, I love Calamite. Calamite's... Oh my god! Like... Probably second or third favorite. Probably second favorite fight in this game behind Sanctuary Guardian. Okay. So far so good. Oh. That attack scares me and I don't know why. So, what we call greed. That is unfortunate. I don't know. I'll give it one more attempt, I guess. Yeah, I would agree that Calamite is the best dragon fight in the series by quite a wide margin, in my opinion. I love the Calamite fight. Are there any other dragon fights that I like particularly? Probably not. The Grebe, indeed. He gives dog vibes. I don't know. I guess Mortis Axe is kind of cool. But I wouldn't consider him a particularly good fight. I guess in the scope of Elden Ring, I don't hate him. Or Zoinos. Yeah. Okay. This time he's gonna have the tail, so I'll be able to bait the tail slam and get a bit more damage on that attack. So, if anything, this will be easier. By killing him in 6 hits? Jesus Christ. Yeah, the camera is very much not a pro for dragon fights in Elden Ring. The camera here isn't bad, at least. I don't need these souls, but I want them. Because I want to get to the soft cap before Gwen. You gonna let me get them? Yes, you are! Thank you! Wow. Should have rolled in. That was very silly of me. Immense skill issue on my part. You know, you'd think I'd be good at this game by now. You would be extremely incorrect, evidently. Okay. Haven't even done damage yet. Run! I think the Calamite fight that I did with Tori in our Artorias... No. Our Ornton and Smo playthrough was one of my favorite Calamite fights I've ever had. That one was really funny. Cool. See, a tail slam lets you smack his leg quite a bit. Pretty safely, too. Get away from me! Jesus. That was greedy. Everything's fine. That was also very greedy. Fine. Only a plus 21? Jeez. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, the only negative to him having his tail is that attack. But once you recognize the animation, it's pretty easy to dodge. I just confused it with the neck swipe animation for a while, which is the only problem I ever had with that attack. Oh god. Ooh. Sorry for not reading chat too much. I need to pay attention to the video game, unfortunately. Tinnitus. I already have that. Stop trying to give me more tinnitus. Rude. I might be being a little bit too cautious, but better to be too cautious than not cautious enough, I suppose. The consequences of my actions. Oh, that's not good. Everything's fine. I don't know, personally I'm not into men, so that's not really a negative in my eyes. If you didn't have tinnitus, I'd give it to you, yeah. Oh. Wow, that is such underwhelming damage for that too. Oh my god! Unfortunate. There is one with Sierra. What are you talking about? Did you not get that one? Missing out. Okay, well. Is it worth it? Should I give it another attempt? Or should I just go fight Gwyn? I'll wait for a response before I decide whether or not I'm gonna just go fight Gwyn now. I'll give it one more attempt if people want to see it, I guess. Yeah, you missed that? That's really unfortunate. That's pretty great. I'd argue probably the best part of the game, in fact. Unfortunately, I can't really share that on YouTube, obviously, but highly recommend getting it in game. So the stream can be longer. Kill Gun with the R2. I will do my best. Alright, I will give Calamite one more strong attempt. I love Calamite. I just don't want the stream to be incredibly long. I'm gonna rest just in case I accidentally failed jump attacks more. What's the durability on this? 300? Okay. Why would I be wearing pants? It's not like I have a webcam on. I am wearing pants because I have autism. And I don't like not having pants on, but if I didn't have that specific brand of autism, I would not be wearing pants. What the? I pressed the attack button last time. Why didn't it attack? Yeah, pants are comfy. Exactly. Yeah, I've met quite a few people who are autistic people who exclusively wear shorts because pants are awful to them. So. I would rather be slightly overheated and wearing full clothes than not wearing full clothes. I despise shorts. I need to get long skirts and like dresses and stuff so that I can always have clothes on and not overheat this summer. You know, I'm shocked that YouTube let that into top chat. I'm gonna be honest. Of all the words for it to block, I would have expected it to be that one. Ooh, that was scary. Ooh, Jesus. Rude. That's not a safe heal. Everything's fine. What are you... Why is he lore walking at me so much? I rolled in. I was a coward. I get my souls before I lose them permanently. I wasn't sure how much range his tail had. Yeah, with how much he does the tail slam, getting the tail cut is not difficult at all. Like, Seath, you have to have like a specific setup for it and everything. With Kylo, you just do the tail cut a couple times, and it's not really an issue. You do need to replay Dark Souls 1. I do it weekly, in fact. I like this game quite a bit. I don't know if this third attack is safe, if I'm being honest, but so far it's seemed safe. Yeah, it's pretty warm in my room right now. Luckily, it was way hotter yesterday, so luckily it's a little bit cooler today. Because I have to have my window closed for stream for sound purposes. And the fan off and everything, obviously, because you'd very much be able to hear it during the stream otherwise. And like last summer, if I got hot enough, I definitely would just stream with this fan on, because I'd rather not die of heat exhaustion live on stream. But, you know, I prefer to have it off if possible. I'm not like dying of heat exhaustion or whatever, but it is pretty warm in here right now. I'm also wearing sweatpants and like a warm cardigan, so get away from— stop lore walking at me. You're rude. You know, Sonic and Dark Souls are like weirdly similar in that way, where fans of the series hate the games. Rise of heat exhaustion while fighting Gwen. That would be unfortunate. Like, at least let me finish the run first. A forced participant. Where is it warm right now? A lot of places. Welcome to 2025, where the global temperature has risen several degrees. I actually don't know how much it's risen due to human influence, but I know it's not insignificant. I mean, I live in Washington. I'm pretty far north as well, and it should be cold, but here we are. I'm just gonna go up Rainier. I'm gonna start streaming from the top of Rainier. Hopefully it'll be a little bit cooler up there. Right in the cloaca. Hello? I'm honestly still not good at discerning the difference between the grab attack and the like standing fire attack. I know they do have different animations, but they're not different enough for me to be able to discern between them at a glance. But I'm getting slightly better at it. It was the same thing with the tail swipe and the neck swipe confusion, because they do have very different timings, but the animations were similar enough that it always confused me. Okay, I'm probably being a little bit more cautious than I need to be, but I don't want to die so close to the end again. Can you do something I can punish? Thank you. Wait, he can do the tail slam not after the dive? I've actually never seen him do that. It's funny. Still parries Gwen while dying from heat exhaustion. Yeah. Okay, I was really worried that was going to be the charge and I was going to die again. I would have cried. Go ahead and heal just in case. Okay, Tail Slam. Cool. Nice. There we go. Did I really only have... I thought I had like 80,000 souls. Ah, oh. In that case... Don't even tease a bone. I don't think I've ever shown that off on stream. I might have at one point with Ceaseless, but I'm not sure. A little bit more intelligence. One more level in intelligence. Let me see if I can get to the soft cap with my soul items. 2 degrees? Jesus. That's unfortunate. I thought it was like a degree in some. If this doesn't get me there, I'll dupe souls. Give that last one to get the last level or 2 or whatever. Okay, perfect. Fire link. I was like revisiting how you thought of the world and you were because you didn't understand where things were. I see what you mean. Yeah. Huh? I like that sound. It was a funny sound. All right. If I don't first try Gwen, I don't even take away my Dark Souls license. I will attempt to kill him with the R2, but no promises because I might misjudge damage. Used to parry people in year 6. At least it's not the one in Dark Souls. The Blighttown in Dark Souls is only one word, so it's good that that one's not real. I wish Dark Souls was real. Yeah, I kind of figured. It was a typo of some sort. Yeah, parryless Gwen is not fun. I don't know, it can be, but I don't like it. Oh god, no. I've done parryless Gwen in several challenge runs. Like I did it. No, I parried Gwen in the whip run. In bow only, I don't think I parried. In the E gun run, I didn't parry. In the other bow only, I didn't parry. You can't. Okay. Fortunate. I think I can do one more riposte without killing him. I pressed the parry button. That's unfortunate. Like an angel without wings. True. I'm gonna go ahead and... Whoops, wrong. This button. Trust me, it's for the greater good. I'm just too powerful. Pure power is the answer to your question. Actually gonna go ahead and quit out. And then save my position in case I die. Just in case. For reasons. My Dark Souls license. No. Oh, I can't believe I just did that. I missed the easy parry. Okay, I can't do another riposte. Okay. There we go. I did it. Moonlight Greatsword, is it worth the tail cut? Yeah, just because the tail cut isn't that difficult. This is actually a really fun run. If I hadn't done any duping, it probably would have been less fun, to be honest, but with the duping, I enjoyed it quite a bit. I don't know. I guess I really only duped so I could get it as early as possible. I think if you go through the game with, like, spells or whatever beforehand, then it's, like, a good point in the game to get this weapon. I think it's really... Anyway. It's the R2, not the L2. It's Dark Souls 1. Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm making my mod. Magic scaling weapons are going to be significantly better. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I love you all, and I don't know how to end this.